Hello, everyone. I want to talk about the funniest scam I have seen yet, or I've heard of. And these are two different scams that I actually want to talk about. Two different scam artists who thought they were going to get money. So, the first scam I'm still laughing about. And it was not me that had this incident, but somebody I knew. And it's hilarious. So, I had been talking to this person. This person that used to be my friend, we're no longer friends now. I no longer talk to this person or associate with them. But I had talked to them about how I wanted to take a trip, how I wanted to go on a vacation, because I'd been cooped up at my house for a long time and I wanted to get out and see the world and do things. Okay, and this is back when I was younger, much, much younger. I was like a teenager when this happened. I was like 19 years old. I already, had a little bit of an issue because I had somebody told me by law I wasn't allowed to go on vacation. By law, I wasn't allowed to get a hotel room. Just telling me that all the stuff that I wanted to do was illegal because of my age, which is not true at all. I don't know why they were just saying stuff because they didn't want me to go on vacation or whatever. But this is basically what had happened. So this friend decides, I'm going to try to get us a vacation because, I could use a vacation too. So this person actually gets a call. They get a call, and the call is for saying that they want a free cruise. So this is pretty much how it played out. You want a free cruise. The cruise is the free cruise. The cruise is totally free. Everything's paid for. Everything's paid for. The cruise is for, a tropical place. You will have to find a way to the dock though and all that, but everything will be paid for. We'll send you the tickets in the mail. All you have to do is give us your bank account information. So they were basically hamming it up about this cruise and how it was free, how it was luxurious, talking about the place that we were going, the hotels that we'd be staying in, so on and so forth. The whole gimmick was that they were going to send us the tickets in the mail. All my friend had to do was give them their bank account information and answer one question to win the cruise. Because when the conversation started, they said that he won the cruise. But then that quickly changed after he gave them the bank account information. He had to answer one question. The question was, what toothpaste does the president use? That was the question they asked him. And I'm still laughing to this very day about it. Nobody would know that information unless you were the president. Nobody would know it. The time where that was going on, Barack Obama was our president, and again, nobody knows that information unless you're a serious stalker. So he gave them the name of the first toothpaste company that comes to mind. After they hang up the call, my friend who's naive is thinking that he won this free cruise and that they were going to send him the tickets in the mail. Instead, what this person got was their mother coming after them because these scam artists drained the bank account. They drained that bank account of every single last dime. So with this friend had like a joint bank account with his mother, I guess is what it was. His mother was putting money into this account too, and she'd been saving up for a couple years, I guess, to buy a house or something. And these scam artists not only took their money, but the mother's money as well, drained the entire account out. And that's when the mother found out about the whole scam, that he had gave the information to scammers. And that's when it came out to the friend that it was a scam. I'm still laughing about this to this very day because it is funny. It's unfortunate that they had fallen from that scam. But it is so hilarious because, why would you fall for something like this? The second scam had came to me while I was at work. I had a phone call. So there was two phone calls. Same person, with 2 separate phone calls on 2 separate numbers. The first phone call, the guy, it was a guy, a foreign guy with an accent, and this guy's accent was bad. Like, it was bad. Like, he was very bad at acting, because I could tell this accent was fake from the get-go. So the person was trying to act like a foreigner, and he was trying to say that he was from an insurance company I've never heard of, from my insurance company. And I didn't fall for it at all. Like, I literally just hung up the phone. So a few minutes later, the guy's calling me back. This time he's calling me back without the accent. So now, this guy butchered the pronunciation of my first name. He used a middle name that was literally an alias I had ever since I was a child. It wasn't even my real name. And then he used a last name that belonged to my great-grandpa. Like, he didn't even have the correct last name. So the last name he used belonged to, like, these are all the red flags. First of all, my first name is pretty easy to pronounce. It's Cree. I don't understand how anybody could mess that up. Secondly, the middle name was never my middle name. It was just a name I was forced to go by years ago when I was kidnapped as a child. Never had this as a name. It's not on any documents for me. It's not associated with me in any way, shape, or form. Another red flag is that he used my great-grandpa's last name, a name that literally died with him. Nobody else in my family has that last name, has this last name. And I've never had that last name. Then after we go through this, he then uses an address that I have not lived at since I was 2. And this is an address in another state that I have not lived in since I was 2-3 years old. So when he's saying the address, it's kind of confusing for me because I was 2 at the time. I don't remember this address. I didn't know my address at 2 years old. How I know that I lived there when I was 2 was because I wrote it down, and then I called my mother and I had questioned her about it. Of course, my mother would know this address because she grew up at this address. So she's like, yeah, that's the house we lived in and such. You haven't lived there since you were 2. How do you know this address? Okay. So then this guy goes on to tell me that he is from a utilities company and that my utilities are going to be shut off if I don't pay him X amount of money. So I'm thinking into my head right now, utility company? The only utility I have where I live is lights. And my light bill was up to date. I did not owe no money on this bill. So I'm trying to figure out what is this guy talking about when he says a utility company. So then I'm sitting there telling him that I did not believe him. And then at that point, this guy, instead of hanging up and dropping the charade, he's continuing to try to get money out of me, continuing to try to tell me he's from the utility company. I have other utilities besides my light bill that is due. And he's just keeping up this whole charade. So at this point, he's not getting what he wants. So he started asking me about the money. Do I have he starts asking me for my credit card information. I told him I don't have a credit card. That's when he's starting to tell me, well, do I have family I could borrow them? He's trying to tell me to go get gift cards. No, I don't have no money. I'm broke. So at that point, he's like, well, do you have family that can loan you the money? Do you have friends that can loan you the money? And my answer is no to this guy. And he just will not take no as an answer. So at this point, I start questioning him about this utility company and what utilities he's talking about. He goes on after that point to talk about Green Dot. Yeah, he said Green Dot was my utility supplier. For those of you who don't know, Green Dot is not any type of utility company. It's the name of a prepaid bank. It's the name of a bank that offers prepaid cards you can go to Dollar General and buy and load money up on it every month. It's a bank. It's not a utility company. So at this point, I told him, I basically hung up the phone at this point. So once I had gotten off work, I called the number back. I decided to make a couple calls. First, I called the number back. And this scammer was really dumb because he used his own personal number to call me. He used his own personal number and some type of computer software to make a different number than his real number appear. But when I called that number back, it went straight to this dude's voicemail. So I got the guy's full name, his name. So I wrote his full name down because on his voicemail, it gave his first and last, it gave his full name. And it said that he was not able to come to the phone. So I wrote the guy's whole name down. I went online, Googled it, got all the information. Guess what? This guy's in New York City trying to scam people. The phone number, the name, everything went back to New York City. So I wrote all the information down, including where the guy lives, got it all off the internet. Then I get on the phone after that, and then I call my light company and I report them. I gave them the guy's information. I gave every information, every detail of the whole conversation and what happened, the guy's information. I called the police and report this guy. And then to top it all off, I called the Better Business Bureau and I reported him on there too as a scam artist. I called the company that ran the software program he was using and alerted them that he was a scam artist and that that's what he was using it for. It's just crazy that these people think, these scammers think that they're going to get away with this stuff, that they can try to scam somebody who's smart. Like, come on. Everybody thinks I'm dumb and stupid, but I'm not. I'm smart. Another thing I do want to say to all the scam artists that are listening out there, I'm from the union. I represent from the union. The international, and what I mean by union is I mean the International Scammers Union. I represent the workers in all scamming industries, both evil and benign. Scammers need reputation too. Try to reach out to me if you guys have any problems or issues with your work environment. I will be glad to assist you.